Sure, abuti honestly.
Okay, everyone, as many of you come up, I want to say hello to all of you and Mkhwanazi, Rodman, Manuel, Mkhwanazi. Good evening, Jono. Who's it, Masakat? So I'm gonna take all of you through very quickly. As you would know that the last time we were having this conversation, I said that ons gaan die ding hier doen on the platform Ashley Koike, the first Sauls. So you get all the committee feedback here. And so if you see on the caption, I've listed the things that we're going to talk about real quick. And it's just so that we can stay in touch, so that one's can touch and play. And of course, we're going to use English, and for obvious reasons, because on said mensa about follow up deep page, but not necessarily Afrikaans. So well, that's the reason why we are going to speak English mostly. I am going to go into Afrikaans knowing that van het gebeur maar net you can't run away from it. Yeah, so when you're ready, just wait for me. Ready. If you guys are ready. So today we're gonna discuss, and the purpose of this is so that elke keer it must become a habit that after you hear that the committee, the ad hoc committee for the Mkhwanazi Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi Alegations, when you hear that ad hoc committee has set on a particular day, then you must know that you watch it on the news or you'll see it on YouTube, but you want my version, who's actually a member of the committee, you can come and get it here. That's what I want you to know. I've learned this approach from our president, His Excellency Gaten Mkhwanazi. Very brilliant strategist, master strategist. When he noticed that the media and others would create a particular narrative, and he then decided to strategize very meticulously how to have a situation where, because those who owns the media platforms owns the narrative, and if you become dependent on their platform, then they decide on your narrative. And so what he's worked hard on over the years is to have those that believes in him, if they see stuff on the news, they'll wait for him to come do a live. And even the news, the media houses watches his lives so that they can then get answers and so on and so on. So he's my mentor, as you guys know. I've learned so much from him over the years and still learning, sitting at his feet, and the confidence that he is showing, that the party is showing in my life, and upon my abilities to have me in this committee. Very, very humbled by it. And so I want to make sure that I do my very best for all of you, for the country, for my mentor, and for my children, and for your children. That's why I'm there. And for the patriots in the Patriotic Alliance who has deployed me there. And this platform, as you know, is when we come and discuss the ad hoc committee. This is for people. that has not chosen a side. So if you've chosen a side, you're not going to be very happy, because you can't be sitting on a committee that has to probe allegations and then you've already chosen a side. If you want someone like that, this is the wrong platform. You must go to the other people and go hear the versions there. And everyone is welcome, not only members of the Patriotic Alliance, but we do want you to be a patriotic South African. You must love your country. The mandate of our party is to have us speak for all South Africans. We don't just speak for my race, which is classified colored race. We speak for all races. We put South Africans first. And in this committee especially, it's about South Africans. It's not about one or other race. It's about South Africans. We need to save our country. We need to build our country. We need to make our country better. And so tag someone, call someone, say tune in, and you will hear on this platform as we go along. This is where you will get your feedback. So we're going to go through it right quick, and I'm going to try and, if I can, I'm not a very smart person, so if there's a question I can't answer, I'll tell you I can't answer that. Don't kill me for it. But if there's questions, then I'll try and answer those questions. But just please keep it to the subject, okay? I'm not going to ask answer any questions that's not dealing with the subject, okay? So I'm just going to randomly, when we are in question time before we close off, then I'll answer some questions, all right? Okay, so we have an agenda there. Just a quick contextual background. As you know, we had our first session of the ad hoc committee where we elected a chairperson. I told you then that the MKP, the Mkhwanazi party, they nominated Malema, and he declined. So there was only one candidate, uncontested, and the candidate was from the ANC, Honorable Alegations, and now he is the chairperson of the ad hoc committee. Now I'm going to show you something very, very unique here. Okay, so when the EFF saw that they are not going to be chairperson, now they committed themselves to now convince the country that the country should not trust not just the EFF but also Action SA, that the country should not trust the legitimacy and the effectiveness of the committee from the onset, just because he's not the chairperson. Malema's not the chairperson. Now, I explained to you the last time, the first problem with him being the chairperson is he's already publicly chosen a side. But you can't chair a committee that is tasked to probe allegations and then be biased. It's wrong to do that. Even if there's probable cause that in all probability we might come at the end of the process and the allegations is true. Even if that is a probability, you still can't be a chairperson and preempt the end. Then the process is useless. So they then took it. They won't say it publicly, but I'm going to show you certain things here today. This is for thinkers also. People who are serious about looking into the deeper things, because I suspect that as we go along, that people are going to try and create narratives on YouTube and everywhere, just like they did just like they did today. There was a discussion between myself and Honorable Malema. And then on YouTube, the poster that I posted earlier, that was not a poster created by myself. It was created by an influencer on YouTube. And they had my face, Malema's face, Honorable Malema's face, and they had Honorable Sauls versus Honorable Malema. And that's not what it was about. Although we did exchange on the basis of what was happening, which I'm going to discuss with you. But we don't go there because it's a PA EFF thing. No, we actually want, just like we do in the committees for higher education and every other committee that we sit at, the PA can work with anybody. We will be clear where we stand with you, but we can work with anybody for if it means benefiting South Africans. We will work with even the AVBA, is what our president always says. So that's always the stance you must take when considering what we do. Okay? So there's no, we don't go in there to fight, but we stand our ground if something is wrong. And that's what happened in the meeting today. So I want to show you the underlying things that are happening. And you can either believe it or you don't have to believe. That's on you. Okay? But I'm looking for people here on this platform who has not chosen a side. You have not chosen a side. You are entrusting us with the responsibility, not just PA, every single member of the committee from whichever party. You're trusting all of us together to find and to probe and to scrutinize the allegations and come to the truth. You're trusting all of us. So don't follow the EFF action essay narrative that seeks to make you believe that this committee is a waste of time. It's not legit because he's not the chairperson. It's not the all in all of politics. There's many capable people to do things for this country. So don't be sucked in by those kind of narratives. Okay? So I'm going to show you what they are doing. And they try to do it again in today's committee meeting. So today we're going to start with terms of reference. So today we had to now go through the terms of reference, because the terms of reference is what we are going to use as sort of the parameters, the guidelines within which we are going to now execute this function on the committee. So ons gaan nou die terms of reference, once ons at the top, dan gaan ons die document gebruik om te sê, okay, kyk, we're going to operate within these parameters. So it has certain clauses in there. So parties then in the last meeting was given an opportunity to make submissions. Now, we are not just going to make submissions for the sake of submissions, just so that you know slim klink. No, when we read the submissions, there was just a tweaking on what was already there for us. When I read and when we studied the terms of reference, the draft, for us it was just tweak a little bit here, tweak a little bit there, add to this sentence this. The DA they brought 10 points and they created the whole section, and that's on them. I mean, they want to do that, But now they want to create the idea that they now doing a lot of work, they just, in my view, you are given an opportunity. If you want to add, you are more than welcome to add. But don't draw a comparison of the Eddie Meester. It's not necessary. If there's need to add sections, trust me, we would. But if what is there suffices, then we don't see why we should spend time trying to impress people, but you are making an initial process longer than what it has to be. But if other parties feels that there needs to be additional things, so be it. But we just tweaked here and there where we see, no, use this phrase because this phrase more represents the function that we want to execute within. And then we change one word, or we add a sentence to a paragraph, you see. Anyway, so that is the approach we use. Nevertheless, so now that's what the terms of reference is about. So before I go to what took place, I want to explain that one of the things that was agreed upon, or that was a discussion point, was the difference between investigation and inquiry. So constitutionally, they used to use the words, at first, they said that we will be the ad hoc committee that would investigate. Now, investigate in the legal sense of the word, it's more an in-depth formal process that requires more technical functionalities than what is within our jurisdiction to do as Parliament. So investigation is there are agencies that are tasked with the task of investigation, such as the police themselves, secret security services, or the NPA, and those people, right? It's a legal function called investigation. So we don't do that. We're not going to go into investigation, but we are going to go into inquiry. Now, inquiry, of course, when the layman's ear hears it, it sounds like a very mild process. It sounds like a toned down type of process. But I can tell you, it's not the case, because the things we're going to uncover there through questioning, through inquiring, is still, it still carries weight. It's just we cannot take over the function of the police, but that process can assist in the work of the police if need be afterwards. Yes. So the Constitution gives us the responsibility to probe, and I see El Marco crowds ask probe. I don't know if you're asking the definition of probe, El Marco, but the Constitution, in, I think it is section I'll actually have to, but there's a section in the Constitution that empowers us, and it uses particular words, which is very, very important, that would highlight what it actually means. Let me just see quickly if I can get that section for you, so that I don't misquote myself, right? So I don't misquote myself. I just want to get you the section, but I know the words that they use, but so that you are able to see the section. So section 42.3 of the Constitution, the country's Constitution, section 42.3. If you read it, you'll see it says that the National Assembly is elected to represent the people and to ensure government by the people under the Constitution. It does this in various ways. One of the ways that the National Assembly does this is through, here's the words it uses, listen to this, through scrutinizing and overseeing executive action. Now, what you've had here with Mkhwanazi, that's executive action that he is making allegations about. Is making allegations about executive action, like the Minister Mkhunu involved in this, that, and the other, political interference in the work of the police, etc. So now we are given the constitutional power, the constitutional prerogative to Scrutinize. Now, scrutinize is synonymous to the word probe, Marco, to say that it's deeper than just I'm inquiring. They just use the word inquiry, but based on the function of the National Assembly within such an inquiry, the word scrutinize is used. It's like a zooming in. It's not just a surface level type of discourse or a robust exchange mildly. No. So don't be fooled by the narrative that they want to push, that this is just a joke. It's not a joke. We are preparing, we are studying, we are preparing for these sessions, for the inquiry. We are putting in the work like we do in our committees, this time even more so, applying ourselves, putting in the time, putting in the effort. And I'm not just talking about myself, because we are not the kind of, the Patriotic Alliance, we are team players. We are not like the Democratic Alliance that they want to take the shine out of everybody and make it as if nobody has done any other work. No, we will work as a collective. We disagree as parties. We don't like each other. Like us and EFF, we don't like each other. Right? But we understand, and I can't talk for them, but the Patriotic Alliance, we understand that if it means hold hands with your enemy for the sake of the country, we will do that. We will. Prez always say to me, watch your ego. As a leader, always watch your ego. Don't make your ego supersede you as an individual or the cause. Right? Watch your ego. And I don't think others has that. Right? So we watch our egos. We don't go in there with ego. We are asking ourselves, what's good for the country? We want to be fair. We want to be just. And we want to execute with military precision. Right? So we're going to scrutinize. So do not let anyone convince you that this thing, orators, it's not even almost like a cross-examination. It is going to be cross-examination. There's going to be actual probing, my brother. I can't talk for everybody, but I can talk for us. The president, our party, has set the bar very high. Julle sien hoe werk President Gayton McKenzie, and that's the reason why he was attacked the other day. Why? If they had anything on him, let's just digress a little bit. If they had anything on him recent, they would have brought that up, right? If he stole something in the past 5 years, he did this in the past 6 years, they couldn't find nothing. And then what do? They go back 13, 14 years to go find something on Twitter. Why? They can see, here's a man that is standing for all South Africans. Here is a man who is firm on principle, right? And the kind of man that we need to lead this country, and the work that he's doing in the Ministry of Sports, Arts and Culture, no one can refute. No one, even if you try, you can't refute the work that he's done in the short space of time that he's been in there. So they decided they've got to get him out there, and they tried, but they failed, because no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Every tongue raised in judgment against us shall stand condemned. We are a party that puts God first, and we believe in the word that has been released over our party in the beginning of the inception of this party by Mdavi on a farm. A prophetic word was given. We walk by that, whether people believe it or not. Right? So I just wanted to digress and talk about that. Well, it's politics, Pauline Kuna. It's politics. And it delves into why we are where we are here now. And you are more than free. If you feel that this is not for you and you feel it's a waste of your time, respectfully, you can excuse yourself and we will understand. We don't have any qualms. You know, so that's the difference between investigation and inquiry. So don't think that it's a milder version of what we're going to do. Then now the next point was Malema right? So what happened was, last week, parties had to make submissions of what they would like to have in there, in the draft terms of reference for discussion. So then the understanding was that the Secretariat will then take the inputs from different parties, consolidate it into a draft document, one document. Then today when we come, we will then look at one consolidated document and we look at all the inputs by different parties. That was the understanding, right? So the Secretariat had enough time to do this. The cutoff date was last Friday. They had from Friday up until today, which is Wednesday, to just basically copy and paste. That's all they had to do. Now, I can't lie to you because I have disagreement with Honorable Malema. I must tell you the truth. Our president always says, stick by the truth, even if it's from someone that you don't like. So the Secretariat, when we started the meeting, they come to the meeting, they say no, they have decided that the approach that will be used is that the terms of reference, they will deal with the draft as they have formulated it, and then they would ask the different parties to then present their inputs. Yes? So, as a result, as we go through the document, they have to now type in some of the information and things like that. And so this is obviously not correct from them. Then the chairperson says that he has had a 3-hour meeting with the Secretariat. They've agreed that the approach that they are going to use was the one that has a consolidated version. So they didn't do that. Yeah. So Honorable Malema comes and he says, no, this is not correct. You can't have a situation where those things were supposed to be in there and it wasn't, right? So was he right to say that? He was 100% correct to say that. I agree with him. That's why there was no opposing of that view. We are not so egotistical that we will just oppose the EFF because it's the EFF. We don't do that. I've not been trained like that by my mentor. He doesn't do that either. If he sees, no, this thing is right, we will support the thing because it is right. So it was right for him to call out the Secretariat. But you know, he did it in his way, calls them incompetent, calls them what. Fine. The chairperson then decides, with consensus in the House, that he will give a 10-minute break. Watch now. 10-minute break for them to now simply put in every party's. Now remember the initial one that we had before the break, no party's inputs was in there. It was just the draft document. The first one. After the issue, a 10-minute break is given. Now this is very important for you to understand because it's now all over YouTube, but it's pushing a certain narrative. Okay? And I'm gonna reveal the narrative. So we come back after 10 minutes. They now had to put all the parties' things in there. So now, as we go on after the break, the ANC's input is there. The EFF input is there. But the DA's inputs are not there. So the DA takes the floor. They say, but our input is not there. The Secretariat admits, yes, now their position is we had 10 minutes, and MKP even gave some more input at 5 to 2 and then they asked for 15 more minutes, so it was not 10 minutes then turned into 25 minutes because they just needed a little bit more time. But the point is they were now racing against time here because we've got to continue with the meeting. So they are putting it that because of that, they did not have DA's stuff in there after the break, right? That's neither here nor there. It's wrong for them not to have it. We agree it's wrong. But what is the truth? The truth is they excluded the DA, according to them, because they didn't have enough time, but included in the second version of the document, listen carefully, was who? ANC and EFF's input. It was about 3.1 was the section we were dealing with. Now, this is where I now disagree with the approach of Honorable Malema. He now comes, we reach 3.1, he sees there's ANC. He then says, it seems like the ANC is getting preference because the ANC's inputs are input there, but the EFFs and the DAs are not. But the EFF's one is there. Leave it. So he goes again at the secretariat, they're incompetent, this. Fine, leave him. Then he says, by the way, this incompetent secretariat people, the EFF never made a contribution or submission to 3.1. He says that on the record. Now, guys, it's another thing if he's reprimanding the staff, fine. But you now don't need to lie because you want to prove they are incompetent. Now, I'll tell you two things. The reason why he wants the nation to think that these are incompetent people, why? So that you must doubt in the legitimacy of the process. Because if he's not the chairperson, work is not going to get done. If it's like this, then the inquiry will not work. So it's important to push the narrative that this thing is not going to function properly because they are incompetent people. Now, the secretariat was wrong. They must pick up their socks. We all agree with it. But you should not have to lie in order to push a narrative. Don't lie. Deal with the facts because you're already setting a tone. Are we now going to lie also so that we push a certain narrative in the public when we are inside of the probing or the inquiry phase? When the witnesses are before us, are we then also going to lie about material things as honorable members? No, we must set the tone right now from the beginning. Don't lie about people to push a particular narrative. That's what I was addressing. And then some people says, that's the next point. The ANC has captured the committee. Now I'm going to prove to you, if the ANC has captured the committee, number one, parties would not be talking against what is happening. Number two, if the PA is captured, the ANC sided with the EFF when I raised this issue. I'm going to play it for you now, and you must listen very carefully. Yaya Muhammad says, correction, Malema was not there before the break. He only came after 10 minutes break. EFF MP. No, he came before. He was there before we went for break as well. You can go check. He came in and he made he made a contribution. So you can go check again, yeah. And obviously, Honorable Matei spoke on behalf of the EFF, so it was the EFF speaking. But when we came back, he made these statements that I'm referring to you now, that I'm putting to you now. So he says, they did not make an input on 3.1. Now, that's a material lie. So the Secretariat is saying, Honorable Malema, I have the submissions that you made in front of me. He's trying to say to him, you made inputs on 3.1. Honorable Malema diverts. He goes, why? Because he wants the country to believe. He says to that man, yeah, you are taking powers of the committee, and that's the problem. You guys taking powers that doesn't belong to you. See, diverting so that the country can focus on these people are incompetent, therefore the committee is incompetent. You can't have that situation where the country feels we are an incompetent process. We are not. We are hard at work. We will do the best that we can. So I don't want us to have that posture. You can test it as it goes along, but don't follow that narrative. And the ANC was not siding with me. They were siding with the EFF. When I called this order, I was called out of order. So let's deal with it. Listen carefully what happened here. All right? I'm going to play it for you. We're almost done. Listen to this. Listen very carefully.
It's also not. It's also not correct to say that there are EFF inputs there. We didn't make any input on 3.1.
Listen there. You hear he says, we did not make any inputs on 3.1. He says that. Listen again.
It's also not correct to say that there are EFF inputs there. We didn't make any input on 3.1. You see, he's just talking. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The DA made an input on 3.1. The DA's input is not there. The ANC's input is well written there. The EFF on 1.5 made an input. When we were speaking to it, it was not there. They were trying to type when Honorable Matei was still speaking. What is that? Don't make us children. They just decided to ignore our inputs and put them there. Why are they not here? Honorable Malema?
That's now the secretary.
Malema got the document of the EFF in front of me. I'm not saying what is before you. I'm saying what is before the committee. Are you the committee? That's the problem. You give yourself the power you don't have. Before the committee, the ANC's input is here. The DS input is not here. The EFF's input is not there on 1.5. You've got it there in front of you. What is its relevant in front of you? Because it's okay.
Can I come in?
Do you hear that? So he's pushing that the input is not there. The secretary is trying to say to him, 3.1, your input is there. I have the document in front of me. He's trying to divert. Why is it important to divert? So that when you listen to it, you will think that the chairperson and the secretariat is trying to only have the ANC's input there and not the other parties. That's what it must look like. And that was not the case. I'll be lying to you if I say to you that that was the case. It wasn't the case. What happened was nobody's input was in the initial draft. After the break, they only had EFF and ANC in there. EFF didn't want you to know that theirs was in there. So it must look like they only put the ANC's one in there. So that you must think there's now a cover-up to push the narrative that the ANC has captured the committee. We are not captured. We can never be captured. We have no side. If Malema is raising a point that is correct, we'll support it like we supported it before the break. But I can't support a lie like that. So what did I do? I then took my chance to then question for clarity so that I show what the Secretariat is trying to say to Honorable Malema that he's squashing. I know why he's squashing it, to push up a wrong narrative. But I must open for the record, but I must do it in a way that it provides clarity with questioning. So I did that. So you'll hear now.
Calm ourselves. Hello. So, Honorable Sauls.
Yeah, just so that I have a clear reflection of what just took place here. If Andile can just flight that original document that he had with the ANC submission on it. I just want clarity on something in that section. And Andile can assist us here. I'm still on the floor, Jay.
Let me just stop here quickly. I love what is happening here with K. Spears and Annual, I think. Is it Annual? I lost it there now. Annual says it's not about Malema really. Stay focused. All of you guys stay focused. You know, those world ANC, what. Right? Now, the problem with that approach, Annual, to say stay focused, this is us staying focused. Because if we allow that to happen, then it derails the process, because the objective is to derail the process. And that's what Spears is trying to explain to you there. It's like that thing will cause us to lose focus. That thing that you are saying we must, that thing that is happening, that you say, just ignore what Malema is doing. We can't ignore those things that he's doing. Because that would cause us to lose focus, and members of the public like yourself will think that it's an illegitimate process. So that's the reason why we're dealing with it. So now I bring it, I'm going to open it up now. This is what I'm doing.
Can you fly that? Yeah, sorry. Can you fly that?
Andile.
Yes, Honorable Sauls.
Just go to the section that we are discussing.
So now I'm taking them back.
3.1,
The original one you had, yes, just go. But now, it seems to me we are addressing the ANC submission that's there. I would want to believe that the other green portions that are added there on 3.1 is also additions that you put during the break. Whose are those?
Those ones, Honorable Sauls, are the EFF's submissions at 3.1.
All right. So we just for so that we have a proper reflection of what has taken place here. It is the DA that's been excluded in these additions, and I would think because of you just had 10 minutes. But after the break, it is the EFF's submissions and the ANC submissions which is there, which it is incorrect to do so, but I just wanted us to have a clear reflection that it's the DA's ones are the ones that are not there, which you will now have more time to add. And I think that's the point you wanted to make earlier.
Yes, Honorable Sauls.
So now, can you hear that? So what I did was, instead of me saying like this, like, no, I'm now opening up for him to respond. Now remember, Honorable Malema said they did not give any input on 3.1. But it's there. He said that man is incompetent, they lied. I don't like people to bully other people. I hate it. But if you are wrong, it's your own business. If people are saying to you, you are incompetent and you have done wrong, I will just stand back and leave it, because you must take accountability. But if people are unnecessary and you are now bullying people, it's just not in my nature to watch. I can't do it. So there, I felt it's wrong to lie to push a particular narrative. It's wrong. So I stood up. So watch the comeback of Honorable Malema. Right? Honorable Malema then comes back, and then he says something about, no, it must be written in the way that the ANC's one is written. He's now not denying anymore that they did an input. He's now saying the way it must be written. Then I just left it. I kept quiet because the point was made. I'm not gonna, the point was made. Right? So, Sadie Piri, we have to work together. Both of us. Not just us, but even the DA, even the IFP. We must not see different colors. You are 100% correct. The country must not just depend on myself and Honorable Malema. They must depend on every capable politician that's there, because you must remember, all of them there represents a constituency. So basically, all of us put together represent South Africa. So South Africa must pray for, must push, must encourage, must push for all of us to say, do the work there for us. And those that doesn't want to, you must believe it. We're not going to shut up. But you must also understand, don't consider it wrong, because there's already a narrative that's pushed out there that the side has been chosen. And now everyone wants us to take a side. I'm not going to do it. That was not the mandate I received from my party. I'm not going to do it. So we're going to stay focused, be transparent, and as best we can, be very fair. Then we came back afterwards. Now they went for a second break, which was longer, which was now for an hour or so, to now add the DA's inputs and the other parties' inputs to come back. So when we came back, now the input is there, 3.1. Now I felt it was necessary for me to now address the issue with Honorable Malema, with the EFF, to say, you guys are wrong to lie. But again, I don't make it about them. I make it about us to say, we as a committee, we must not lie to push a particular narrative. I say we, because I want us to be progressive. Then the chairperson calls me out of order. There, the chairperson is standing with the EFF. The ANC is standing with the EFF. They are pushing away what I'm saying. I had to accept it, but I stated my position. I stood my ground. If the chairperson calls me out of order, it's done, but I can prove afterwards I was not out of order, like I'm doing now. So let me play it for you.
The PA.
No, Chair, I wanted to raise the concern that I raised earlier. Where
Can I check first if you want to make a submission, and then let's deal with the concern after your submission.
it's based on the submission of the EFF. It will be immaterial if we leave it for later, because I want to state that it's very important that we must hold the staff accountable if there's incompetency anywhere. But we must not lie to make the staff.
Honorable Sauls, I'm going to rule you out of order now.
Why is that, Chair?
I want you to make it's not time for us to discuss the submissions of
We are not discussing. We are dealing with the terms of reference, and how we deal with the staff that's supposed to assist us is important in its terms of reference. Because what happened was, the EFF said they had no submission on 3.1.
But Honorable Member,
said they did.
do you really want us to go into that or focus at the work that is at hand?
We must set the tone for how we will deal with our staff, Chairperson. It is important that make them look like they are incompetent in their own country.
I still insist that I'm ruling you out of order. I want us to focus on the work that we must do.
Is it right?
Are you making any submission on item 3, Honorable Sauls?
That's my submission, Chair. My submission is the EFF must accept that they had the submission for 3.1 and should not lie to make the staff look bad. It's a wrong tone to us. They must apologize to the staff.
The submission that you are making is that it relate to the PA.
So there you have it. And you can decide for yourself whether I was out of order. They cannot deny that they said on record they did not give any input on 3.1, just so that the staff must look bad. Then thereafter, changed. And I was trying to show, you lied in front of the country. The reason why it was relevant, because I'm saying we're dealing with terms of reference, meaning this is the ambit within which we are going to operate. So we must already now set the tone to say to MPs, when you're in front of the country, don't try and play to the gallery by lying to make staff look bad so that you must look like the hero. I'm not going to allow that. It's wrong. But when the staff is wrong, they must be called out. And then Honorable Malema is correct to call them out. And anybody else that's calling them out, I will support them, but don't lie. Don't lie to make people look bad. I'm not going to stand for that. I'm sorry. No, actually, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to stand for it. Right? And so, ladies and gentlemen, from the PA side, we are not going in there for competition. We are going in there for our country. Remember, let me play you the text, let me play you what I said in the interview again very shortly, if you guys can remember. Remember that clip. Listen. And this is our mandate.
Emphasize that the investigation is as important as that of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into Mkhwanazi's allegations.
We don't have a side, and I think that's what's important. There's many political parties that has already publicly expressed a side. Some calls themselves, we are Mkhwanazi. While as the Patriotic Alliance, we are no one. We are not Nkunu. We are not Mkhwanazi. The Patriotic Alliance is South Africa. And so we are going into this process to represent South Africa, find the truth, focus our commitment on transparency, and ensure that we execute with military precision.
There you have it. Now, our commitment is you. It's not to compete. It's not to look the best there. Like other people were saying to me, the last meeting I was not saying anything. I'm not just going to say things because you must now be happy that I said something. I will only say something when I believe what I'm going to say is needed for progress within the process. Other than that, I'll shut my mouth, and you can say to me that I am useless, it's none of my business. I am not there to be validated by anybody. I know my assignment there. My assignment is to represent my country. It is national duty for me. It is a patriotic act for me. I'm not just doing it for you. I'm doing it for my children, their children. This is personal for me. This is what I get from my leadership, my party. That's why we call it Khorontu. It's for the people. So I'm not going to seek to now I must just say something for the sake of saying something because it must look on the news like I'm participating. If I have no need for participation, I will not participate. So already prepare yourself that if I have nothing to say, I will not say it. Prepare yourself. Number 2, ladies and gentlemen, I know you guys are saying we are Mkhwanazi. We are not Mkhwanazi, neither are we Minister Mkhunu. We are you. We are South Africa. We are going in there not having a side. I know you want us to have a side. I know you are happy with other parties who has chosen a side. But we are not out here to please you when you are wrong. You are wrong to expect people who must go and probe and scrutinize allegations to have a side. You are wrong as a country. And because you are the majority saying these things on social media, we are Mkhwanazi, we are this, we are that, and now we must be pressured by. We don't operate like that. I'm not going to do it because majority of you is saying the things you're saying about me. I love my country too much. And you are my country. I love all of you with I love South Africa and every single one living in it. Despite your race, your creed, or your color. I love you guys. I love you, love you, love you deeply. And that's the reason why it is an honor for me to serve to the best of my ability. It's an honor for me to serve you to the best of my ability. But you must know this one thing. You can hate me. You can say the things you say about me. You can do all that kind of stuff. Guys, South Africa, you are wrong. To want parties to choose a side, yet the responsibility and the function is for us to probe without bias. So I have taken that position. I've taken that stance. My aim is to execute with military precision. It's the best I can do. I'm going to do my best to serve you, to serve my country. It is national duty for me. It is a patriotic act of service for me on this particular platform. So you must know that the committee is not captured. That is a lie. The committee is not captured by the ANC. You saw that the ANC did not side with me there. I was called out of order. They stood with the EFF. Now where's the concording now? Where's the things that you guys are always saying? We are working together there. Where is it? There I was. Something that you must judge for yourself. Was I wrong? I wasn't. But I was called out of order. But I proved it. So no one is captured. It is a lie. The committee and its members, all of them from all parties, not just from the Patriotic Alliance, the members from every party represented in that committee, they are capable of representing South Africa in this inquiry. The committee is a legitimate committee. The committee is tasked with the responsibility of doing an inquiry on the veracity and the implications of the General Mkhwanazi allegations. We are all going to do the best we can to serve our country. And where we all are, because I'm not perfect, I might be called out during the process. Maybe I've seen something in a different way and I did something wrong. I must be called out. But calling out each other doesn't mean that we are there to compete against each other. Maybe others are. But I've not been sent there to go and compete with the EFF. EFF is not our competition. The other parties are not our competition. I've been sent there with a clear mandate. Go and serve your country. Go and execute with military precision, with integrity, with a fairness, without favor. Muni paisa. I've not been sent there to go and please people. I don't want hand claps and pats on the back from anybody. That's not why we're there. So even if you disagree with our stance, we are not going to change it because you disagree. You must show us the right thing, because that's what we're going to stand for. So I hope that provides clarity. I'm going to take a few questions. I'm going to try and answer some questions for a few minutes, and then we can drop off. But I hope that you have clarity on what has transpired. Now, guys, you're going to see on YouTube, you're going to see things, and they're going to make it like it's a fight between me and. I'm not interested in that. But neither do I fear anyone. I only fear God. So I will not subject myself to anyone's rudeness. Malema's rudeness, anybody's. I won't. I am not a slave of anybody. We are all independent thinkers. We are all honorable members. And the Constitution has given all of us the right to express ourselves and to be granted an opportunity to speak our minds, not just one person. So those days of political flamboyancy is over. It's about service now for our country. And we, as the Patriotic Alliance, for the sake of our country, we are willing to serve with anybody. But we are not, do not mistake our meekness for weakness. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. All right, anybody who's got questions, I will try my best to answer it within the subject matter. Well, Rajiv, was there any progression on the proceedings, and what's the timeline for the whole inquiry? Very good question. So, depends on what you consider progression, Rajiv, because today we had to deal with the terms of reference. We cannot start the process without having adopted the terms of reference. So now, they've now consolidated the inputs of all the parties. We are now going to spend the weekend studying all the inputs. Then we're going to come back on Monday. That's the last item on the agenda, by the way, so we can jump into it already. The way forward, we're going to then come back on Monday, and then we are going to go through the inputs and then push to adopt the terms of reference as a document. Now, once we have adopted the terms of reference, that's progress. That's now we've finished a step in the process, because now we have the scope, the legal scope within which we are going to operate. So now we can now then start working on the timelines, the witnesses, the evidence that needs to be brought, etc. So there is progress made. It's a bit slow, but these processes are absolutely necessary. Timeline, as things stands now, we have between now and the 31st of October. However, depending on how the processes go, there is a possibility that that day can be pushed further. But as things stands now, it is meant to finish the 31st of October. So that's still the aim, to finish the 31st of October. Guys, I'm gonna try, and because I missed some of the comments after Rajiv, but then we have Ants Plakis. Babes, if you're online, maybe you must help me with questions, yo. I need an assistant here. On B, my question is, this is Ants. Is there any way PA can retract from this committee? I just don't like the way we get dragged into political flamboyancy, as you've mentioned. And, you know, to retract is to essentially misrepresent you or anybody, like what was said earlier. Anybody who believes in us. This is not a time to give up under pressure. Pressure should make us strong. It should motivate us to continue, because you guys, South Africans, are whom we are doing it for. So no, that's not an option. We will not retract. Come what may, let them do it. Frederick, I think I answered the time frame. We're aiming 31st October. We'll see. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Brandon. Yumna Low Alexander. Hey, this one, guys, struggle with this feisty one, young, and she's a soft spot in my life, so I have to just answer. Yumna Alexander, question, Honorable Ashley, for those of us who came late, is this what the purpose of today was? Today's sitting about the considerations of terms of reference was all about, how and what must be allowed in this ad hoc committee, how things must operate. That's correct. That's what the terms of reference is totally about. And so it's still in draft format. On Monday, hopefully we will adopt and have a final document. Guys, just forgive me. Trying to look. Wesley is there. Why isn't the Khoisan part of the national dialogue? Wesley, you are asking me something outside of the scope of this discussion. What I do know is that there are representation of Khoisan in the dialogue. I just don't know whether some people feel it is a sufficient number of representation. But to say there's no representation is not true. To say that that our people, that Khoisan is not part, is not true. That's not true. But I don't know the details. I'm not part of the national dialogue. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Isabella, thank you. Shukran. Philomena Banks. Yes. Tommy, I've answered that already. Vivian Jonas, when is the next ad hoc sitting? It is Monday, but it's not going to be for, like, there's not going to be witnesses and stuff. We're still dealing with the preliminary issues. Jerome, will the president of the Patriotic Alliance be testifying in front of this committee? That's a very, very huge possibility. I don't know if you can remember. He had an interview on TV and he said he has an input to make in this allegations. And so he's already availed himself. So yeah, very huge possibility that the president will do that. He's also very patriotic, as you know. So he would want to contribute for the sake of the safety of our country to things that he knows. Davy says, Ambiza, if you stand for the truth, you'll always stand alone. I hear you, my leader. I hear you. Thank you, Rajiv. Yeah, there, Councillor Wendell answered the question of why we need to be there. Babe, you mustn't put it here. It doesn't help. Rather send it on WhatsApp and then I can see if there's questions I'm missing. Because I'm struggling to scroll and I'm missing questions there. Anyway, so guys, I hope that that I've answered many of your questions. Esme asked, do you have possible witnesses yet? Yes, there are possible witnesses. Obviously, one of the main witnesses is General Mkhwanazi himself. He's going to come and testify there. I think the minister, Nkuni, is also going to come and testify. Then there are ministers, there are witnesses. I'm even told there's witnesses that are in prison as we speak that's going to come and witness. So they're going to be taken out of prison to come and testify and then taken back. That's how serious this thing is. Harvey, yes, absolutely. The idea is when we find anything wrong, we must then expose it. Of course, the part of the terms of reference is also that all the proceedings must be public, so you will be able to see everything. So if there's something uncovered there, you'll also spot it and see it with us. And then the idea is that there must be action taken after that recommendations. There's even a recommendation or a clause that I think will be in the terms of reference to say there must even be a committee that provides oversight over the execution of the recommendation. So it doesn't just become a piece of paper that's there. Like all the other committees must provide oversight over this particular process. So it's very serious. It's not a joke. Rajiv, the protection for witnesses, that is a very, very important question and it is taken very seriously. It was discussed again today as well. So very, very seriously. A very serious aspect that is being taken very seriously, and there will be the necessary steps taken to ensure the protection and the safety of witnesses. Ashton said, "Hey, brother, is te groot vir hom be. Nee, wag man, massakant. Dis hy Steve Urkel look. So I have to get where I vibe from Steve Urkel for stay. Those of you that are a bit older will understand me, Steve Urkel. So I really love the way I look. Thank you. Ja, dankie Cornel. Sê net bietjie vir daai mannetjie daar so asseblief. Vivian Jonas, yes. It will be live. It will be, you'll see it in real time. It's part of the terms of reference that the proceedings must be broadcasted live, every single one. Even to the point of we are saying that it must be physical. The inquiries must be face to face. It's a serious thing. Yeah. So guys, I'm really missing your questions, to be honest. If I've missed it, I'm really sorry. Okay. Okay, I've answered the question of the level of protection. Thank you for the prayers, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm missing a lot of questions here now. I think I saw a question just pass quickly now about members of the public. Yolanda, thank you for the prayers. Jerome Isaacs asked, do you think the chairperson is the person for such a huge thing? Yes. Yes, I mean, what would not make him the person for such a thing? If you look at his academic qualifications, also qualifies him, because he has, I think, one of the degrees that he has is one in law, so he understands the processes. He's been in the political sphere. He's been in the trenches on all levels of government, so he has experience on how to run committees and so on. So I've got confidence in the chairperson, definitely. Let's see how he works through the process, and then we'll talk again later as we see. Thank you, Kay, for the well wishes. Charles, just tag me on that question, please. I didn't see it. You're right. I missed the question from Omako. Just put it here at the bottom again. Let me just see. Okay, guys, then we're going to finish. Sheila, what tone will be set for this committee, I think she means, regarding accountability for all members present, since the chairperson does not find it important that those leading... Sheila, those leading the inquiry are not probed to fall in defaults. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But what happens is, you're making a good point there, Sheila. But the tone has been set, just so you know. After the meeting, I registered my concern with the chairperson, which I have the right to do as a committee member, to say I was not in agreement with the ruling, and so on. So we're setting a tone of saying we are not the type of members that are just going to accept. But for the sake of progress, that was not the time for us to engage on the ruling, you know. But it's clear that as we go along, there will be a better understanding on being more objective when before giving a ruling of out of order. But chairperson, very understanding, saw where the angle was coming from, and was willing to listen to what I wanted to register with him. So I think that is a good sign. It's a very good sign. Yo, kom ons kyk maar waar's Marco's question, and then Marco is asking if the current evidence is final or will other evidence be allowed as the process. Now, other evidence will be allowed as well. So there's no limit to evidence as long as it's within the ambit of the allegations that has been made. So the evidence must be to corroborate or refute what allegations was made by General Mkhwanazi. So it's still open, Thanks, Jono. Appreciate it, my brother. Jerome Isaacs, will there be judges' question on this? No, the judges are doing a separate process. Remember, they are doing the Judicial Commission. So they have a separate process that's running concurrently. My pleasure, Sheila. Yeah, let us know. I think y'all are finished now, nah? Love you guys. Stay well. Keep on praying, not just for us. Pray for South Africa. I'm working on a live that I'm going to do, but that I'm going to do is on Visa. My brother's going to do that one. So look out for that live. I'm going to talk about quite a lot of things that podcasters are saying and so on. Not the open chats thing, not that other stuff. But I think Ombiza is better placed to address that one. Love you guys. Muni Baizani in English. Don't be sad. Let me see. Oh, let me see. Ilana says she sent me something. Okay, these are questions I've answered. Yeah, these are things that I've answered, and so yeah, muy blame. I love you guys. Stucken. No offense, baby. Marcus Clifford immense, no? Love them. Stucken. Money Paisan. In English.
Nothing. Sure, I would do ownership.